everyone, this is Jacqui Cooper with JCooperTravels, and I have Dr. Brown here today. This is part of our continuing conversations about how to stay healthy, keep healthy, so that way we can enjoy travel, both to the locations behind me, like to Hawaii, as well as anywhere else that we might want to travel, both in our local area as well as overseas. Dr. Brown, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you. And you?
Good, good. So many of our listeners might not be familiar with your background and your story. And for those that are new to my podcast, my focus is on sharing inspirational stories of individuals that have found their passion and are helping others. And so Dr. Brown and I have been talking about a variety of topics, and I'm excited to have you back on the podcast. But why don't you go ahead and share your story so those that are listening who might not be familiar can know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, thank you for letting me share. So my name is Dr. Tiffany Brown. I'm a naturopathic doctor. And how I got here was I was having health issues, female health issues. And I was going from doctor to doctor. They was doing what they know to do, but I wasn't seeing no benefits. So I just looked into the natural community, see what they were doing. They was doing a lot of different things. I got overwhelmed, but I tried one thing and I saw more benefit than I had with anything they was doing in the conventional world. So I started looking for naturopaths, holistic people that was in my area to consult for further services to help me, because I know I didn't fix my issue. I couldn't find anyone. So I was like, I can do this. So I went back to school up here in Illinois, and naturopathic school, did my time. I'm done now. 4 years later, I'm here. I have an online website where I can see patients anywhere in the comforts of their home to help them out. Because I know more now.
So I know we've been talking about a variety of topics, and today's topic, which is probably on everyone's mind, is the upcoming New Year. And every year we all make New Year's resolutions. Some we keep, some we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And so our topic today is talking about New Year's health resolutions.
Yeah.
Now we've all been, most of us have been home, staying home, maybe exercising, maybe not exercising. You've created a list of really great resolutions that we should be thinking about. So I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about the list. And I know first up on the list is something I need to add to my list, which is exercise. And it doesn't mean going from one computer to the other computer up and down the stairs. It means actually exercising. So can you talk to us about why that's really important, especially because of the situation that we're all in right now?
Yeah, exercise is very important. Whether you dance, you walk, or you just for an hour dancing, get out in nature, the gyms, if you can make it. If you can't, just buy you some resistant bands, make up some exercises. YouTube is full of them. And it's so important because it's your heart loves that movement. Your body, your joints loves movement. So, if it's your resolution, do it for your joints, do it for your heart. Sometimes you have to give yourself a reason, to work out, and then you'll look good and feel good, and it energizes you as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
What's number 2 on the list?
Number 2 is water. I mean, we talked about water in the past. So I just require people to drink at least 2.5 liters to 3 liters of water a day. And that's to help your body flush out toxins, get your colon to moving, your body will be a lot happier, make your blood a little thinner, and help your heart pump that blood through, and move the lymph. So it's good for your skin. So, I mean, water is excellent. It's a go-to.
So I know that at the beginning of our staycation, I needed a reminder for myself about the water. And so what I did in my kitchen is I put out 8 cups. So that way I would know that if I had not gone through all 8 of those mugs by the end of the day, that I had not had enough water.
Yeah, that's so true.
I mean, I'm a very visual person. I needed those visual reminders. Didn't
Yeah.
always work, but I at least put it out there.
There you go. There you go.
So what's number 3?
Number 3 is fiber. I think we kind of skip fiber because we're so quick to eat out or we just throw something in the microwave. But fiber is very important. And fiber you find in your vegetables and your fruits. And you should be doing like maybe 5 to 6 servings of vegetables and maybe 1 or 2 servings of fruit a day to get that added fiber in your diet. Make sure everything is organic. If you can grow it yourself, that's even better. But I guess this is wintertime, so you're gonna have to buy it, from the store. And just eat it, and get your colon to moving. You'll feel better. Fiber is just excellent. Helps the liver. Everything just moves smooth. And then start off slow. I always tell people start off slow and drink plenty of water with it.
So you mentioned servings. What is a serving size though? Because a lot of times we're not always aware as to what the proper size is. So what would you recommend? How do we know what a size is?
So some people who's visual, I always tell them about the what can fit in their hand is a serving, like in the palm. That's a good serving size. Some people like to do it by cups, so maybe a half a cup of depending on if you can pack it in. If you can't pack it in, then maybe a cup. If you can't pack it, is a serving. So the
Now,
serving isn't really big at all. So
no,
sometimes you can eat 2 servings, not even realize
yeah, I was just thinking that I probably eat way more than I should. Now,
it.
if it's vegetables, that's not a bad thing.
Now,
But if it's other, then that's a really good way to visually say, okay, that's enough.
yeah.
Because I think that in our
Mhm.
culture, a lot of times we look at the size of the plate as having to be filled
Mhm.
instead of the serving size, when we think that if the plate's not full, that it's not correct.
Exactly, yeah. That's a correct way to put it.
Now what was number 4?
Number 4 is protein. So when you're working out, getting moving and stuff, you want to make sure you eat enough protein to kind of support the muscles because they're gonna need that extra protein and make sure your body just needs it. And anywhere from 1.2 to 1.7 grams of protein per kilogram. So what I like to do is I like to take the body weight, just divide it in half and then multiply it by the 1.2 or the 1.7. And that's about how much protein you should be consuming a day. And women needs a little more. So women should be a little closer to the 1.7 mark, 1.7 grams per day.
How do you know how much protein?
Yeah. And so usually I like to do like a deck of cards or but you can look up on your phone. I think that's the best way to be more accurate. Get on your phone and if you have a chicken breast, it should tell you how many grams of protein is in that chicken breast or in turkey meat or whatever meat you choose and in vegetables also because some vegetables have protein.
Okay, that's good to know because there are many individuals who might be vegetarian or
Yeah.
even vegan, and that's equally important. What about multivitamins?
Now, multivitamins are good because it consists of everything, every nutrient that a lot of times we're missing or we're not getting it in our diet. Even when you eat the fruits and vegetables, because the ground is not is depleted of different minerals. Even though you eat that vegetable, it's just probably not in that vegetable because the ground was depleted. So the multivitamin will help support that area.
That makes sense. It makes
Mhm.
sense because of the fact that we eat a lot of processed foods, even though a lot of us are trying not to.
Yeah.
So you probably are not getting balanced total vitamins that you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Now, let's talk about more specific, like minerals and other things that our body might need for overall health and well-being. Besides the multivitamin, what's next on the list that we should be thinking about?
Magnesium. And magnesium is an excellent example of how the ground is depleted. The grounds are depleted of magnesium. So it's kind of hard to get magnesium from your vegetables and stuff. So it's kind of good for you to substitute magnesium. And I like to, I know some people always say, well, my doctor told me not to do magnesium. And it causes some people loose stools. So those are usually because magnesium has different forms the oxide and the citrate is more, will cause more loose stools and more of the laxative effect. So there's other forms out there that you can most definitely try.
So I just do, also want to remind all the listeners and viewers, if you're on YouTube, there's an information block on the podcast and on the YouTube side, so you'll be able to reach Dr. Brown, and also access to her website. So I do want to ask, if you're not sure what to take, quantity wise or whatever, is that something that you can help people with?
Yes, I can. I can, because sometimes if somebody's already experiencing conditions, you might need more than a recommended daily value. So you might need more. So maybe I can help guide you in that area, and then also what form is best for you, because magnesium has so many different forms. But the daily value for magnesium is 350 milligrams for male and about 280 for females. If you just want just a substitute if you want to, especially if you're working out for muscle cramps. You probably want to go a little higher if you have muscle cramps from working out.
That's good to know. What's next on the list? Right after the multivitamin and magnesium, what's the next thing that we have to remember?
Vitamin D. And vitamin D is good where we don't put vitamin D with the bone support, but it's good for bone support and just for the immune system. And you working out, that extra vitamin D working out, and especially this time of the year where we're not getting a lot of sun, you will most definitely want to be substituting your vitamin D at this time. And vitamin D, maybe about 200 IUs if you just want to keep it, it's recommended daily value. And when the sun comes out, I know people who are fair skinned can get out in the sun, and if you got your back out, about 10-20 minutes, you'll get a daily dose of vitamin D. People who got a little more color in their skin need to maybe substitute.
So, with vitamin D or even magnesium, are you supposed to have this on like an empty stomach, or are you supposed to avoid certain foods when you to help the absorption? How do you intake it?
Okay, I like to say you take it with food, because just in case it upsets your stomach. Uh, the vitamin D, you want to, because it's fat soluble vitamin, you want to take that with some type of fatty meal. You got a little fat in your meal, like if you have chicken is kind of like got fat in it anyway, so you want to take it with that, or for the help for the absorption of vitamin D.
What's next on the list?
We got probiotics.
And what is that?
That's a big thing. Yeah. So probiotics is for to put microbes in your colon. And because our colon has microbes, and depending on if you don't have a good diet, you don't have a big diversity of microbes in your colon. And bifido and lactobacillus are really good ones that you really want in your colon, but it's thousands of different microbes in your colon. So you can substitute different probiotics. Like you might start off with one brand for a month or two, then you might want to do another brand for a month or two, just to kind of shift it around. Like sauerkraut and kimchi, those are good for to help put the microbes in your gut to make it healthy, and that supports your immune system, and it will make you feel good all over.
I like sauerkraut for a reason.
I do too. I do too. Yeah.
So, are the probiotics things that you can get like from yogurt and things like that?
Yeah, you can. You sure can. And for those who's not like, now they're coming out with coconut and almond, but for those who's dairy sensitive, I would avoid that, because you don't want to be upsetting your colon when you're trying to make it healthy. Yeah, and also too with probiotics, I know people like to take them long term, but if you once your diet clears up, and this is the resolution, so once your diet is really good, you don't have to keep taking them, because the fiber that you eat, the fruits and vegetables you eat, will feed that microbial area. So just make sure you're eating your fruits and vegetables, because that's where that comes in handy at.
So what about what's next on your list? I know we talked about multivitamin, magnesium, vitamin D, probiotics. What's next?
And vitamin C.
Vitamin C.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we put vitamin C with colds and immunity, which is fine. But vitamin C has support in collagen. And so we got collagen in your joints. and your skin is made of collagen, blood vessels made of collagen. So we don't think about it in that purpose. And while you're working out, there's some extra support on your joints and stuff like that. So vitamin C, they for about 85 milligrams of vitamin C is recommended daily value, but I always like to increase that.
So would you get that in your multivitamin, or is this something
Mhm.
you'd have to do supplemental?
You can get it in your multivitamin, but the multivitamin tends to put a small amount in there, which is okay. But if you just want to increase it, you can if you choose to. Yeah.
So I know vitamin C is water soluble. So even if you were to, unlike vitamin D, I guess, so if you were to have too much, it would just kind of flush from your system.
Yeah.
What about their herbal teas?
Yeah. So herbal teas, I like herbal teas like chamomile. If you just kind of want to relax after you done had a long day, chamomile tea is to relax. And chamomile tea and green tea. Green tea is more if you want to get for your energy. If like instead of the coffee, maybe you want to do green tea in the middle of the day to kind of keep you going. Those count towards your water intake. So it's like, okay, if you want to drink as much water, you can do like 10 or 12 ounces of green tea or herbal tea, or however much herbal tea you want to do. It'll count towards your water intake.
That makes a lot of sense. And that also
Mhm.
kind of flavors the water. So if you're kind of bored with just the plain water,
Yeah,
um,
it helps.
I knew that I ended up, I guess it was a number of years ago, getting a water filter. I think it
Mhm.
was a Berkey water filter. But as soon as I did a water filter, the water tasted so much better. And
Mhm.
so, it just, it's amazing,
Yeah.
sometimes what clean water
Yeah,
tastes like, because we don't always realize it.
that's true.
Um,
That's true.
so, what's next on your list?
So I got put deep detox products because as you go, and if you're not being successful at it, and if you don't feel good, maybe you want to do a detox. There's a lot of good ones, good ones that's out there, but I can have some that I have recommended that'd be okay to take. It's kind of safe. I've looked at them, and maybe they're more healthy for you to take, and in that way, to kind of help your body, because your liver does all the detox, do the main detox. So maybe you just need support on getting that to moving, getting the colon to moving, and your digestion. All of it's connected.
It is all connected. Now, the other thing I want to mention to everyone who's listening is that you do have a website, and on the website you do have various items that you can also provide. But I would just like to suggest that everyone reach out to Dr. Brown, so that way, depending upon everyone's personal situation,
Yeah.
she can kind of consult with you to figure out what would work for you, and really kind of provide the balance that you need. So I know that you've created a list of 12 resolutions, which
Yeah.
is great because we have 12 months in a year.
Got all year to
So,
work on it.
so if we kind of start at the top and every month add one new thing, then
Yeah.
or we can do it one a day. But again,
Yeah.
so what's your last of on the list?
It's called bioplasma. Bioplasm.
What is
And
that?
bioplasm is like a cell salt, and it's like minerals. It's low dose, low potency. It doesn't interact with any medications if you don't want medications, and it's just minerals to kind of help support the body of any minerals that maybe that the patient is missing. And what I like to tell people to do, it comes in a little bottle, so I always pour like a cap full of the little pellets. The pellets are real small, and then pour them in your jug of water that you're gonna drink during the day. Shake it up, and you can just drink on that out throughout the day. And I also do one more thing on that. When the reason when you don't need this, when you get a bad taste in your mouth. So if you drink it and you feel like you get this bad taste, then you're done with it. But it's really, really helpful.
And so tell me again why we need the bioplasma. What does it do to help us?
Yeah, it's cell salt, so it's got like phosphorus and sodium. It's like and it's real low potency, and it's got fluoride. It's got a lot of different little things in it that's really like that our body needs.
So that's like really fine tuning what it is
Yeah,
that we might not. Okay. And
yeah.
how long do we need that? Is that something just like a multivitamin that we always need to have, or is that just something occasionally?
Yeah, you can do it every day because it's so low potency. You can do it every day. But once you start because at first you won't be able to taste it. It tastes like nothing because you're putting it in your water. But after a while, you keep drinking it every day, it'll give you a bad taste, like a metal taste, because those minerals are just basically little metals. And you'll get that taste and you'll be like, oh, that tastes horrible. And that let you know, okay, my body's had enough of that.
And then at that point, you wait for a little while and don't do it, or when do you know that you need it again?
Yeah, you will know because if you get to feeling good, and then when you kind of get feeling down, then you might can start it back up again.
Interesting. That's really
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah,
Well, again, for everyone who's listening and watching, you are able to go to ndhealthcalls.com, which is Dr. Brown's website. You're able to look at the link below.
yeah,
And anything else that you would like to share
yeah,
with our listeners?
yeah. So once you go to my website, if you go to it's a full script tab on my contact page. If you click that, and you have to put your email address in and to log in. And then I got a section that says New Year's resolutions. So everything I talked about will be in there. And you can just browse through. I don't have it broken down to like just your vitamin D, your vitamin C, but everything is in that one little page. And I got different products I picked out that I looked at that I really, really like.
That's great. I think, health and wellness it's always on everyone's top list besides income,
True.
for the new year.
Yeah.
So this year, especially, it's important that we maintain our health
Yeah.
and start the new year off right with exercise again.
So true.
So thank you so much. I look forward to our continuing conversations.
Me too.
And I'll talk to you later. Have a great night.
All right. Thank you.